All right, let's see. So sorry for the delay. But people wanted to sell, and what can you say? It's close to Christmas. You gotta let the people make the money, right? Right. Okay, let me get something up here for a thumbnail because I am just have not been feeling well since this oxygen thing. So I'm not gonna scare you all with the way I look, but I'm just, and plus I've got to go out of state tomorrow, so as long as the weather's going to be okay, and what a crazy day that's going to be. But let me get a graphic up here that we have, because Lori pled not guilty to the murder of Charles Vallow, and I watched that earlier today. Plus there's other true crime news we'll go over, and we'll see what's going on. So she was arraigned on a conspiracy charge in her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, shooting death. She was already been convicted of murdering her two children, Tylee and JJ, as well as for the murder of Tammy Daybell, her current husband's first wife. Now, 2019 was when her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, died after he was shot by her brother, Alex Cox, who claimed that he did it in self-defense. Then, a few months later, Alex Cox dies after allegedly trying to murder her niece's husband, Brandon Boudreaux. So the court entered pleas of not guilty for Lori Vallow Daybell on both charges, and then they listed off a bunch of dates for like pretrial hearings, trial hearings, and the prosecution said something about needing more time for the trial, and then the defense said no, and then the judge said we're just going to leave the dates as they are right now. So they start with dates in January through to, I think, April is the start. Let me just see here. Yeah, let's see. I think they're both set to, Chad Daybell is due to start trial in April of 2024, and I believe that's when she was slated to begin. Let me see. Pretty sure that's what I heard in court today, but what do I know, right? Because I'm pretty sure that was the case. But anyway, we'll have a lot of time for that anyway, right? But that was pretty uneventful. Other than that, let's see what else is going on in the world. Everything is going just so fast. Okay, so the University of Las Vegas gunman had a hit list, but 4 victims weren't on it. Oh, wow. Let's see what we can say about this. The gunman who killed 3 faculty members at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas on Wednesday had a list of people he was seeking. Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill said none of the victims were on the list. Anthony Polito, 67, died in a gun battle with responding officers outside of Beam Hall, home of the university's business school. Polito described himself as a semi-retired professor on his website and said he had degrees from the University of Georgia, Duke University, Radford University. The Clark County Coroner's Office identified two of the victims, Patricia Navarro Velez, 39, who died of multiple gunshot wounds, and Cha Jan Chang, 64, who died of a gunshot wound to the head. The third fatality has not been identified pending notifications to next of kin. This is the gunman. And Polito showed up at Beam Hall shortly before noon and opened fire on 4 faculty members. The fourth, a 38-year-old man who was visiting a professor at UNLV, was at Sunrise Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The sheriff said that Polito had sent nearly 24 letters to university officials across the country, including one that included a white powder. His hit list included people at UNLV and Eastern Carolina University, where he last worked. The letters were apparently sent at the Henderson post office before the shooting. Investigators used the dash camera from Polito's car to track his movements prior to the shooting, which included a stop at the post office. McMahill said the first letter that was opened contained the unknown white powder, prompting a call to the hazardous materials team to process the letters. At Polito's apartment, the sheriff said investigators found his last will and testament, computers, ammunition, and a box for a Taurus 9mm handgun, the type of weapon used in the shooting. McMahill said it was purchased legally last year. The sheriff also noted that Polito appeared to be struggling financially, and investigators found an eviction notice on his door. He had 9 fully loaded magazines on him when he was killed by police. Wow. Oh, wow. So there's more about this guy that we talked about. Remember this Hollywood agent's son? And remember, her parents were missing. I guess they found out that he killed and dismembered her parents as well. Sam Haskell is sitting in jail with no bail, accused of murdering and dismembering his wife and her parents. Police found biological evidence at the Haskell home where his wife and in-laws lived. A law enforcement source said the biological evidence is from 3 different people. Police have yet to say what the nature of the biological evidence is, but they say they have found blood at the house. Former friends of Haskell are speaking out. His former trainer has shared text from Haskell in which he says he can't handle seeing chopped up bodies in horror movies. He says the violence is too hard for him to enjoy. Other friends have described Sam Haskell Jr. as being paranoid. Before his arrest, and the New York Post reported that Haskell once pulled a machete out on a childhood friend. Friends of Haskell's wife, May, describe Haskell as being weird and having the same creepy vibe as Jeffrey Dahmer. Haskell's former personal trainer, Troy Pydade, said to Nancy Grace that Haskell was troubled, but he never thought he would commit murder. This guy, let's see. Shoot. Okay. So there's, let's see what we have here. Details. So he's the son of former high-powered Hollywood talent agent whose clients included Dolly Parton, George Clooney, and Whoopi Goldberg. And he's now the center of this murder case. A homeless man rummaging through a dumpster just a few miles from Haskell's home found a female torso that was stuffed inside a duffel bag. Investigators believe the body parts belonged to May and said surveillance footage from the dumpster location led them to her husband. Sam was arrested on suspicion of murder and the search for more human remains, as well as the whereabouts of his in-laws. And then now they have that. Okay. So that's just horrible here. Let's see what else we have. They say he was a real spoiled brat. Let's see what he would do. He tell you some things about this guy. He said he didn't like violent movies. Because the slice and dice slasher movies, he didn't like those, but yet he dismembered his wife and in-laws, right? So I'll tell you what else, some other things about him. He used to make racial jokes, according to people that knew him. He had the Dahmer vibes, like I told you that. Let's see what else I've got. I know there's something about his there was something about him whining, being a whiny baby about filet mignon. Let's see where I have that. Oh, do you go buy a whole chicken? No, you get them cut up because it's just too hard to dismember even a chicken. Just go to the bonus things. Let me see here. I don't know. Something here about him, but he was, I'll set it like a spoiled brat. This guy, let me see. He was socially awkward. Let me see what else they're saying about him. A neighbor who lived next door never really had an actual conversation with him, but she came fast friends with his wife, May. I knew him to be not social, maybe kind of socially awkward. I wouldn't say that he struck me as creepy. When I say socially awkward, he was just kind of quiet, kind of pensive, always seemed to be deep in thought about something. At dinner parties that his wife May frequently hosted, Sam would often sit off to the side and not talk to anyone. But she never expected he would do anything violent. So, okay. So yeah, in-laws too. It's just disgusting, isn't it? And he's gonna just kill and dismember them all. Horrific. Absolutely horrific. Okay. Okay, a chocolate mogul is charged with the murder of a Canadian animator and his partner. Wow. Is this the chocolate? He looks older than 57 if this is this guy. Okay, let's see. An American chocolate mogul has been arrested in the Caribbean country of Dominica for the murders of a Canadian animator and his partner who were found dead in their burned out car last week. Oh, I remember seeing this. Jonathan Lehrer, the 57-year-old owner of the chocolate company Bois Colette. I've never even heard of that. Bois Colette. Bois Colette was charged with murder on Wednesday in the deaths of Daniel Langlois, 66, and Dominique Marchand. Lehrer, his wife, an American man named Robert Snyder, and a Dominican man were all taken into custody. Wow. Snyder was also charged with murder, and he appeared in court with severe burns on an arm and a leg. Police have said that Langlois and Marchand were ambushed and shot in their car, which rolled into a ravine and burst into flames. The couple's remains were found Friday morning after they'd been reported missing. The couple, who had lived in Dominica since 1997, managed the Colibri Ridge Resort and had reportedly been in a dispute with Lehrer over use of a road that runs through the American's property. Langlois was the founder of Soft Image, which produced 3D animation software used in such films as Jurassic Park, Titanic, Men in Black, The Matrix, and The Fifth Element. He sold the company in 1994. Wow, so he killed them about a road? Crazy. This kind of stuff is nuts. Problem solving 101. Don't murder. Murder is not the answer to the problem. The boyfriend of a San Francisco tech worker who was found dead last week has been arrested for her murder. Kimberly Wong, 27, and her boyfriend lived in an apartment on Clay Street, and police conducted a welfare check at the apartment last Thursday evening and found Kimberly Wong dead. They said they were investigating the death as a domestic violence homicide, but no arrests were made until 29-year-old Scott Fisher was taken into custody Thursday afternoon. San Francisco police said Fisher was located at 10:30 Thursday morning in Contra Costa County and booked into the San Francisco County Jail just before 1 p.m. Kimberly Wong worked for banking software from Plaid, while Fisher worked at San Francisco-based software company Databricks until October and studied economics at the University of California, Berkeley. In the announcement of Fisher's arrest, police say they initially responded to a call asking them to check on Kimberly Wong. They did not say who the call came from. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult female who was unresponsive. Officers rendered aid and summoned paramedics to the scene. Despite life-saving efforts made by the responders, the victim was pronounced deceased. Fisher is currently behind bars, being held without bond at the San Francisco County Jail on a murder charge. His next court date has not been set. Unbelievable. 27 years old and he kills her. Okay. A missing 16-year-old was found murdered Texas police reported a 16-year-old girl who was found deceased on Tuesday was murdered. Lizbeth Medina's mother said they found her daughter dead at Edna apartment after she did not show up to a Christmas parade. Her mother said Medina was in the cheer squad and was set to participate in the parade. According to Victoria Advocate, Lizbeth Medina's mother left work and went to the parade, but she did not see her daughter in her cheer group. Medina's aunt said the teen was found dead in her pajamas, which suggested she was killed that morning. The Edna police said they're investigating Medina's death as a capital murder, though additional details were not disclosed. No arrests have been made. Unbelievable. Okay, and then Richard Allen, accused child murderer from the Delphi case, has been moved to another Indiana jail following a motion filed to transfer him after mistreatment allegations. The order was signed by Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita on December 6th, and Allen was transferred to the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Carlisle. Allen is charged with murder in connection to the 2017 deaths of Abigail Williams, who was 13, and Liberty German, 14. Allen's former attorney filed a motion back in April to have Allen moved to a different facility after complaints of abuse at the Westville Correctional Facility. Allen's former attorney said the defendant's treatment at the facility was akin to that of a prisoner of war. The Indiana Department of Corrections anticipates continuity of services and care provided to Mr. Allen at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. Okay, so we'll see what happens to him there. Okay, let's see now. I'm going to sneeze more. Sneezing. Please don't make me sneeze again. Alright, so another one. Another woman loses her life at the hands of a boyfriend. Newly released warrants shed details on the disappearance and murder of a South Carolina woman, Jamila Smith. According to the court documents, 34-year-old Daniel Gabriel Harmon has been arrested and charged with domestic violence and kidnapping in connection with Smith, identified as his girlfriend. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office said that Smith has not been seen or heard from since December 2nd at around 7 p.m. Both Harmon and Smith were reported missing on December 3rd by family members. On December 5th, police arrested Harmon at a home off of Carpentersville Road. Aiken Standard reports that the police took him into custody after an hours-long standoff. Harmon was subsequently treated for injuries at an area hospital, and then he was booked into the Aiken County Detention Center. He currently has no bond. Court documents indicate that he has a history of mental health and domestic violence issues. She called me from his phone around 3, and she said, Daniel threw my phone out the window on I-20, said Tina McGraw, Smith's mother. Smith's friend Brittany said domestic violence issues were a common occurrence between the pair, with Smith calling her upset following arguments. We have committed all available resources into finding Jamila, Captain Eric Abdullah said with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. It's our greatest hope that we can obtain any information that would lead to her location. She is described as a black female, 5'3", tall, and weighs 107 pounds. Sneeze again, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, sorry, I don't know, I'm just crazy. Remains found near the Kiamichi River in Oklahoma have been positively identified as a Louisiana woman who disappeared in 2022 on a road trip to Colorado. What about that other girl that disappeared, remember? That was going across the country from... I wonder what happened to her. Gordon Case said he lost contact with his daughter, 33-year-old Caitlyn Case, on August 5th, 2022, as she traveled the back roads in rural Texas. A week later, her SUV was found on private property in Frogville, Oklahoma, where it had crashed into trees on the banks of the river. Despite multiple searches, Caitlyn wasn't found. In the course of the investigation, police said they don't believe she was driving the SUV when it entered Oklahoma. Case's parents, Gordon and Peggy Case, told the station that Oklahoma State Medical Examiner made the identification using dental records. The partial remains, including a skull, were found in October by Choctaw County landowner on the opposite side of the river from where Case's crashed SUV was found. A law enforcement official said they searched both sides of the river in 2022 and hadn't even found footprints on the riverbank. The Case family released a statement Wednesday night saying they were devastated at the news. We will remain vigilant. We will pursue the truth and justice for Caitlyn. We are grateful for each and every one of you who have been with our family on this journey. We pray for patience, strength, your prayers, and continued support. Officials are now awaiting word from the medical examiner on the cause and manner of death. Meanwhile, Gordon Case said the family strongly suspects foul play. We will not let those involved get away with this. I promise my daughter that they will all be brought out into the light and justice will be served. Now that, more on that UNLV shooter. Apparently, let's go back there. So they say that Anthony Polito, 67, the shooter, was, he earned a PhD in management from the University of Georgia and an MBA from Duke University and undergraduate degrees from Radford University. In addition to East Carolina University, he taught at the University of Georgia and the University of Northern Iowa, Wake Forest, the Roseman University of Health Sciences, Brno University, and describes himself as a semi-retired university professor. Let me see here, because there was something that said he didn't get a job, and that was first that listed. He was identified as a professor who did not get a job at the school. He unsuccessfully sought a job at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and apparently, I don't know, on a shooting. I don't know. Crazy. Okay, here's some other parents. parents of a Baltimore teenager have been charged with 15 counts, alleging that they helped their son assault another teenager at Carver Vocational Technical High School in October. As a parent, it's mind-blowing to read the allegations in this indictment, where a child's guardians facilitate in settling schoolyard dispute with violence, said the state attorney Ivan J. Bates. The behavior is not only totally unacceptable, it's criminal, and my office stands ready to hold anyone engaged in such dangerous acts accountable to the fullest extent of the law. The indictment says the William Drayden III and Tiffany Harrison took their 15-year-old son to the school on October 27th. They face charges that include first-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and use of a firearm in the commission of a crime of violence. The teen was also indicted, but it's not clear what charges he's facing. Police said when he was arrested, they planned to charge him as an adult with attempted murder and handgun violations. Drayden and Harrison allegedly joined in on the assault, which included the teen pistol whipping a victim. The boy fled from the fight and promptly ran into another 15-year-old with whom he got into a verbal confrontation before both teens shot at one another. Both 15-year-olds were wounded, and a 16-year-old boy was hit in the crossfire. None of the three suffered life-threatening injuries. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh boy. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Where the heck are you? Okay, here you are. All right. Hi, everybody. Hi, Christina Ferrara. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Nora Woods. Oh, my gosh. Hi, where have you been? Oh, my gosh. You've been gone for so long, Nora. So nice to see you back. Hi, GB. See GB and Texas Mopar. Hi, Farm Wife. Liza, Deborah. You just seen this Love You Lady. Love you too, Nora. 42 months a member. You better get your butt in here more often. You too, GB. You used to be first all the time, remember? I remember a long time ago. I'm trying to think what their name was. What their screen name was. They were here all the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. And then they just fell off the face of the earth. I'm trying to think. It wasn't Wonder to be me. It was how to go back. Where's Newfie? I haven't seen Newfie in ages. Oh, there's GB. Yeah, GB. I haven't seen you around in a long time. A video reel. He's always watching me, watching you, watching me, watching us, watching you. He was always first. GB was always first. Hi, Emmy. Oh my gosh, this colonoscopy thing is kicking me. I'm going to look it up right now about oxygen. And let me get another graphic on something nice. Hold on. put one of these, oh, Rusty is so bad. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. But we're gonna look it up. Because it's so annoying. Okay, there we are. Now you feel warm? You feel warm by the fire? Sitting by the fireside. Okay. So I put some fire. I'm going to check about the oxygen. And oxygen. Okay, here we go. Supplemental oxygen is routinely given via nasal cannula to patients undergoing moderate sedation for endoscopy. Some patients complain of profuse rhinorrhea and/or sneezing after the procedure, which results in additional medical costs and patient dissatisfaction. Yes. Okay, let's read this. This is from a medical publication. Okay. This is from the National Library of Medicine, and it says, according to guidelines of sedation and anesthesia in gastrointestinal endoscopy, the routine administration of supplemental oxygen has been shown to reduce the magnitude of oxygen desaturation during endoscopic procedures. Okay, but what happens? Patients experience discomfort such as drying of nasal mucosa and dry throat and a decreased ability to expectorate. Patients may also experience decreased forced expiratory volume in 1S after using NC at a high flow rate without humidification for a long duration, while at a low rate, nasal symptoms are minor, and among these symptoms, drying of nasal mucosa is the most common, affecting approximately 40% of patients. Supplemental oxygenation via NC without humidification is justified when oxygen flow rates are low. Okay, let's see what happens. Subjects who were randomly assigned to one of the two, let's see. A total of 1,199 subjects were eligible to receive sedation. Okay. Oh my gosh. The efficiency of oxygen supply appeared to be worse in this group. Let me see. Conclusion. We have shown that NC prongs 10 millimeters in length and an oxygen flow rate of 4 L per minute directed into the nares could induce rhinitis symptoms in the setting of healthy subjects receiving moderate sedation for endoscopy. Trimming the prongs to 2 millimeters in length or using NM significantly reduced the incidence of rhinorrhea and/or sneezing. However, the incidence of hypoxia, although transient and mild, were higher among subjects using trimmed NC. Additional studies will be needed. Okay. But how do you get rid of this now? A simple, innovative way to reduce rhinitis symptoms after what? Okay, it's an underreported complication. Non-allergic rhinitis. Okay, this says Post-procedure rhinitis is an underreported complication of non-allergic rhinitis after sedation with supplemental oxygen via the nasal cannula. A 67-year-old male. Let's see what happened. During the procedure, oxygen was maintained. On awakening from the procedure, the patient complained of severe bouts of sneezing, clear nasal discharge, and lacrimation. In less than 12 hours, he had used 2 tissue boxes or 100 sheets with little relief of symptoms from fluticasone nasal spray, loratadine, fexofenadine, and diphenhydramine. Due to persistent symptoms, his sleep was poor, he refused to be discharged, and he pled for antibiotic treatment. Symptoms of rhinitis upon waking up from procedures requiring sedation and supplemental oxygen via nasal cannula may be due to non-allergic rhinitis. This is triggered by the oxygen nasal prongs, causing nasal mucosa injury when it impinges against the membrane in a sedated patient who is unable to intervene to readjust the prongs. Mucosal injury leads to stimulation of nasal mechoreceptors, which leads to parasympathetic overactivity, resulting in symptoms of rhinitis. Based on the pathophysiology, topical anticholinergic spray may be effective treatment. We believe patients should be informed of the possibility of this adverse event and advised of proper treatment if it occurs. Anesthesiologists need to be vigilant when using nasal cannula in a sedated patient. Impingement of oxygen nasal cannula against the nasal mucosal membrane in a sedated patient can result in non-allergic rhinitis. Oh my gosh, what do you do? Oh, and then it says sneezing after colonoscopy. It says, okay, so I thought I had caught something. I had a colonoscopy yesterday and started sneezing and dripping about 3 hours later. The left nose is itchy. I can't seem to stop sneezing, and now I know why. They don't tell you this in the hospital. Propofol could cause this, and it's commonly given with oxygen and nasal cannula. Laying on your left side during the procedure, I looked it up on Google and I found tons of others who got this too. Now I feel like I'm not crazy. It's never happened before, even though I've had nasal cannula O2 with other surgery. Hope to stop soon. Someone said, I usually have to take an antihistamine after any kind of anesthesia because I get a runny, itchy nose. Use a single dose of Benadryl will do the trick for me. Last night I took 2 Sudafed, 2 sprays of fluticasone, 1 24-hour Claritin, no change. Today so far, I've had 2 more Sudafed, another 24-hour Claritin, minor change, but still far from normal. Normally, any of those dosages would have worked for me. There's something different about this, at least for me. I mean, it feels like the regular bad allergies I've had, but where about the other drugs would normally have worked pretty well, this barely seems to respond. I hate to sound like a whiner, but I've spent the last 3 months with a sinus infection that left me feeling like crap every day, until last week when I saw an ENT who gave me prednisone, which seems to have worked to get rid of the infection. So if the propofol or the plastic tube inflames the sinuses and I end up with an infection again, I'd say that's good reason to be PO'd. I'm glad antihistamine worked for you, but I don't think it works for everyone, and there's a few threads on the internet about this. Okay, I know these posts are old, and so it's now 2020. So that was back in 2016, now 20. It says, have the same story with me. Had a colonoscopy, given propofol. 1 day later, I can't stop sneezing. I never sneeze. Should I really be giving propofol? Here's why. I had just finished a Z-Pack last week for a sinus thing. My heart rate was crazy all over the place due to an ulcer. Then the surgery center was extremely good. I'm going nuts. Now my ears itch. I feel like I'm sick all over again. I can't stop sneezing. I'm so fatigued. I can't sleep thanks to the propofol. But I've had this anesthesia before and never had this reaction. Anyone know why? Let's see. Runny nose after oxygen. I had my first colonoscopy and endoscopy today under general anesthesia. When I woke up, I noticed I still had the oxygen tube in my nose, and I had a really runny nose. I didn't think too much of it on the way home. I started sneezing. Tonight, it's nighttime. My nose is incredibly runny again, and it feels like I have bad allergies. I had to look online, and I found an article that says post-procedure rhinitis is a form of non-allergic rhinitis that is a common but underreported complication occurring after procedures requiring sedation and the use of supplemental oxygen via nasal cannula. I haven't had allergies in years. I'm scared to think this is something I'm stuck with. Has anyone had this reaction, and how long does it last? This is literally happening to me after an endoscopy and a colonoscopy. My nostrils are going off. Another one said, same here, shoulder surgery yesterday, and what's going on with my sinuses is worse than the shoulder pain. The drainage is crazy, and I've had to stuff my nose with tissue. I read the same article. It recommends first-generation antihistamines, Benadryl and antihistamine nasal spray. I took the Benadryl orally and Astepro nasal spray, and I was able to sleep without profuse drainage, but I woke up with the symptoms, and I had to take a second dose. I'm hoping mine resolves in 24 hours like someone else said. This is not my first surgery experience with the nasal oxygen cannula, so I'm very surprised by this. From what I read, it's due to improper placement of the cannula in the nostril. How long did it take for it to go away? I have the same reaction. It's been over 24 hours. I'm still sneezing and my nose is dripping. I'm hoping you are not still dealing with this. Oh no, mine went away after a day. Is yours still going? It sounds like minor irritation of your sinuses. I've heard that taking an antihistamine will stop it, but that's just hearsay. Call your doctor for better advice. Oh. Hold on a minute. I've got to get some tissues. Oh my goodness. How did I just... Oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze again. I just had an endoscopy. Okay, it says I was under IV sedation. Okay. This is so weird. So I was trying to find this. It's happening to me too. My left nostril is dripping so much and I can't stop sneezing. Did it go away after a few days? Someone said, oh, I'm experiencing this. It went away after 3 or 4 days. It lasted much longer than I expected, and I had to work from home due to the runniness. Hopefully you're back to normal by day 3 or 4. Someone said, I see you contacted your doctor. I have the same problem. I was burning so much that I didn't want to breathe through my nose, but I guess it went away slowly. It happens every time for me. I don't think it's something to worry about. Someone said it's a very common side effect from having oxygen administered via the cannula. I don't remember the exact reason. Maybe even the temperature of the oxygen, but it definitely will get better in a couple of days on its own, or you can try some over-the-counter sprays. I had this myself, and my aunt, who's a doctor, told me it's nothing to worry about. Okay, this one said, thanks. I emailed my doctor a bit ago, and he responded, it's a common side effect. It said some saline spray and saline gel for the nose. I just walked into the store and bought some saline Vaseline as my nose is rubbed raw. I also found a medical journal article. Okay. A lot of people have this. Oh, this is horrible. If I go again, I'm gonna ask not to have the oxygen if I don't need it. This is horrible. See what you guys are saying. Are you guys saying anything? So many people affected after having procedures done. That's awful. Really? Yeah, I know, right? Steam showers do help. I took 2 showers. Hi, High Speed Drifter. Gosh, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? Video reel could be in the Zoom after the stream. Want to talk? Let's talk. Well, we are here to learn. Oh, hi, here to learn. You used to watch us? Is that a new name? Hello all, I hope everyone's well. I used to watch a lot a year or so ago, just turning back in. Is your buddy Scooter still around? Yeah. She's still here. What are you here to learn? What was your name? You have chronic sinus issues too? That's what woke me up just now? Really? Claritin helps. I'll have to get some tomorrow, but I might have to go out of state tomorrow. And I hate to drive with something like this. Poor me. I'm gonna be a poor baby. Scooter made my night. I hope everyone has a blessed night. Here to learn. You're not Newfie, are you? This community helps me more than you all know. Oh, I know. There's a lot of people that it helps. It's good people. But I wonder if you're Newfie. Anyway, same issues here. But did it happen from the oxygen stuff? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Jimmy. Sorry. At least I haven't lost my sense of humor. Then we'd really be in trouble. But sometimes people don't get my humor. I was really funny the other night. I think I was hysterical. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even say it. Member for 46 months, Sergeant Rambler. Scooter. To Scooter. Thank you. But I think I'm going to check out tonight because I think we've been here. I think I've done my duty here on going over this stuff. And tomorrow I have to go on a road trip and all that good, funny, fun stuff. I'm going to start a new Zooms. So I'm going to kick everybody out of the other one. And then I'll talk to you guys all a little later. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have fun. And I hope that I'll see you tomorrow. You have allergies? Yeah, this is from the procedure. But I love you guys. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I don't know how to get out of here. Hold on a minute. I think over here. Yeah. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.